Hey, what's up, gang? Hope you're all doing well. I got a very special guest today, Joey Caputo. He has one of the best channels out there for Yankee content and baseball content. It's called The Shift. If you haven't seen him yet, make sure you go check out his channel. Very entertaining, very knowledgeable. He puts out some class stuff. I will be linking his channel below in the video so you can easily find him, and I definitely encourage you to take a look at it. If you enjoy his content, make sure you support the channel by subscribing. Want to welcome you on, man. Joey, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, bro, I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for having me on. I was really excited that you emailed me and you were like, "Hey, bro, let's tag team." I'm like, "All right, man, let's do it." So really excited. I really appreciate it, bro.
Two Yankee
I really
fans
appreciate it.
one, man. Two Yankee fans
Yeah.
better than one. So,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
exactly.
So
Yep.
I want to get your take because I get a lot of different opinions on what's going on,
Yeah.
and obviously there are varying opinions because of varying information that comes out to people. So, what's your take on the lockout? Where do you see it going from here? You know, give us your 2 cents, man.
my 2 cents. I have like 50 cents. It sucks, man. Honestly, this whole thing sucks.
Yeah,
and the owners never had to do this silly lockout, and they could have negotiated the contract. Obviously, we all know this during the season, and they chose not to. They chose to lock the players out. And you know what? That's a bunch of crap. And you're hurting the sport. Baseball is, you're trying to almost revive it. 94, and then that sucked, the strike back then. And then, Sosa, McGuire, everybody knows that story. It saved baseball, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
So now you're almost trying to kill it again.
Yeah.
You're trying to kill it. It's not good for young fans who are trying to love the game of baseball. It's not good if you want to produce, brand new players that show some interest in the game. It's like, oh man, I'll watch basketball.
Yeah.
I'll watch football. Screw baseball. It's not on.
Yeah.
And it's like nothing, like it's everything is just frozen. No spring training, no moves are happening. It's just like, come on. And now you're canceling some of the season already.
No.
I'm sorry for yelling, but
Dude, you have every right to, man. I got so many people that
yeah.
are visibly frustrated, and rightfully so. I'm frustrated. You're frustrated. It's like we're baseball fans, and it's like it's akin to going to a steakhouse and them telling you, "We don't have any steak today."
Yeah.
Would you like a cheese salad? No, I don't want a cheese salad. I want a steak.
I want a steak, bro. Yeah.
Yeah.
Medium rare, man. I want my steak.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, and it's it's like the two sides, and in my view, they're completely tone deaf.
Yeah.
Right. And I understand, I try to understand my best the positions on both sides. I try to take this, look at it from that angle, look at it from that angle, and then try to crisscross it, and then try to get as much information as I can. And I hope other people do that to make a well-informed decision. And like, what's crazy is, you formulate an opinion, and then a day later, some other piece of information comes out that can change your perspective. Like what just came out about Scott Boras, right? And we already know that Rob Manfred's universally hated. Okay. And he hasn't done a great job being a commissioner, but then, and most of the people on my channel levy the blame on Manfred, and rightfully so in a lot of cases, right? And the owners, rightfully so in a lot of cases. But when somebody like that comes in, he throws a nuclear bomb, because when you get to the point when owners want to make concessions or are willing to make concessions, which is not very often, it might be wise to take it. And the fact is, I mean, they were able to acquire a monster raise over 20% from $570 to $700,000 for Pryor players in their first year, which was going to go up by 10,000 per year just in the first year alone. Yeah. Okay. And then you get universal DH, right? They also got rid of draft pick compensation tied to qualifying offers, which is huge because, and you know this as well, there are certain superstar players who won't get signed by certain teams because they don't want to give up draft picks and international spending money, because you have to give up both to sign a guy with a QO. Yeah. Yeah. So now that's gone, or it would have been gone, right?
Yeah, true.
And so that opens up the market for players to create a little bit more, a couple more interested teams. And then, you're getting this pool of money. And the way I see it is, the minimum salary was for their service time. This pool was for performance.
Yeah.
and because it was linked to how well they played and so on. But this is an extra $30 million that came out of nowhere. And I understand they wanted $100 million. They definitely shot for the stars and they landed in the clouds. Fine. But $30 million would have been a decent starting point. That could have gone up over a certain amount of years of CBAs. They got that, and they got a whole bunch of other things too. And yes, they made concessions as well. But that alone, in my opinion, would have been a good solid win for the players union. That's a monster raise, and that affected almost 40% of the players in baseball.
Yeah, damn. Yeah, that's huge.
Now that's a good chance that might not happen, or it might change because of things that Scott Boras and apparently Max Scherzer did, and which kind of torpedoed some of the momentum. And like I said, in ball cap sports, and they played the audio, and and you hear it like, oh my God, this is really happening. Bill Madden, and he's saying like, yeah, they made all this progress. Guess who wasn't there? Boras, Scherzer. When they came back, it got shot down. So like, it just shows how quickly things changed, but it also frustrates me too because all this time they condensed 3 months in about a day of work and made all this progress, and then it just went the next day. So they could have done a lot of these things before, and then at that point a lot of the blame was levied on owners. But then when you hear that, well, Scott Boris's people were kind of making it difficult for the owners to negotiate, then it changes my mindset a little bit too, which brings me back to the kind of both sides are equally bearing of responsibility here. That's kind of what I look at it. What's your take? Like, give me your.
Listen, my take. There's a little echo, by the way.
Oop. How about now?
Good. It's better. So my take is this, bro. My take is this. The financial side. All right. The players need to get what they need or deserve, rather, and the players at the end of the day are your product. That's who the fans want to see. So like, I totally understand that. However, are you still there?
Yep. I'm here, dude.
Okay.
I'm gonna put my sunglasses.
However, the one thing that they need to grow this game, and all we're hearing about is money. They need to actually talk about some of the rules and how to improve baseball. And I feel like, okay, the universal DH is a fantastic step, but that was really it.
Yep.
And we want this game that we love to grow, right? It'll never be up to the NFL. It just won't. But we want it to at least almost try to get there. And in order to get there, we have to change some things. And that's not even being talked about. It's all money. It's all it is. The owners are greedy. The players, they all stink, honestly. They just all piss me off. But, I just want baseball, man. Pitchers and catchers were supposed to happen already. Spring training, obviously. We missed some games. We're going to miss regular season games. It just stinks. The best news that we got out of this whole thing is Jeter leaving the Marlins. My boy Jeter, man. It's the best thing. But, it's this whole thing, it sucks. It sucks. I hope the players know what they're doing, because this could go on for a really long time. And that would be really unfortunate for the sport.
Yeah, and it's detrimental to the game. I mean, to me, it's a slap in the face to the fans. I guess fans, the way I see it, you go to a game, you buy tickets, you got to pay for parking, you get merch if you want, you get concessions. It's like $30 for chicken wings and fries at a baseball game, right? And that's why I used to stuff hot dogs in my pants and hopefully not get caught when I go to games. Then everybody has to go to games, and I'm like, so
that's awesome.
And then if you don't live in New York, you're getting a streaming subscription on MLB TV or whatever. So there's so many different ways and layers of revenue that they bring to the game. So crying poverty to me doesn't really have much credibility. Okay, when they're doing the breaststroke in $100 bills, right? And as much as I want players to make the minimum, the minimum, I want it to be higher. $700,000, it's good for them, but it's still 99% of, more than the world makes.
Like I understand that. I get that, but I also understand their perspective a little bit because it's these owners are just making boatloads of money.
Yeah, they make the lion's share.
And it's like, bro, I want some more. Like I'm the one. The average major leaguer only lasts, I believe, 3 years, right?
About that.
So it's like, dude, like and you don't hit arbitration until after 3.
Yep. Exactly.
So it's like I want to make as much money as possible, and I want these other kids to make as much money as possible. The generation, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just that's what they're trying to set up. So I do get that. I do.
Sure.
But you know, it's just. But then on the other hand, too, it's like, bro, I can't relate to losing, you know, the $700,000 a year. Like
it's just, you know,
can't, you know, I just can't.
I
can't relate.
I don't drive a Bentley.
Yeah. I drive a Honda Civic. You know,
I don't have an Aston Martin or a private jet. So, you know, it's just. But at the end of the day, too, keeping it genuine too is I don't bring binoculars to baseball games, but if I did, I wouldn't be looking for Rob Manfred. I want to see the players. Fans go to watch the players, right?
Sure.
So yeah, they should be paid commensurate with, you know, what they're doing. And again, I understand they get a lot of perks. You get stipends, you get all these different things and perks and blah, blah, blah. I get it. Fine. Totally good. You know, but young kids should make more. And like
should.
The average lifespan, and the thing that's not talked about that I brought up recently is when you get called up during pre-arb, you make that money for the time that you're up there. When you get sent down, you go back to the minor league salary. So if you're lucky, you get a month, right? If you're lucky. And it doesn't always happen. I mean, the Yankees call up a guy to send him down 2 weeks later. Like, it's just the way that it goes in baseball, unfortunately. So, yeah, that's why I totally understand getting that pre-arb salary up 100% because they want to make as much as they possibly can.
You know, you can't blame them for that.
No.
You really can't. And I don't. But at the same time, it's like I just want baseball.
Yeah.
You know, I just want just owners, players, please get this done.
Yes.
Get this done as soon as possible, man. I want to see Matt Olson on the Yankees, possibly.
Yes.
I want to see, you know, certain things here, and it's, you know, it's got to happen.
Batting in between Stanton and Judge.
Oof,
right?
Man.
Yes.
I think Stanton is going to have a monster year, by the way.
I love watching Stanton play. I love watching him make these home runs, and he swings with both hands.
Yeah.
For me.
When that guy's locked in, though, he's one of the best, if not the best hitter in baseball.
He's unstoppable. When
he's unreal. You know, and check out that his MVP year for Miami that one year.
9 home run year. Yep.
Yeah, like he started off slow, but then all of a sudden got hot, and he just was smoking the ball.
I love the guy. You know, and he's one of the guys that he stands up for his teammates, so he's a leader to me. And, you know, I want to see him hit home runs. I want to see Cole win a Cy Young. I want these guys to win a world championship together. Like, you know, and now, I mean, who knows if it still happens when they scrap the compensation for qualifying offers, this opens up the gates for them to bring in somebody like Carlos Correa if they want to. I don't know if they'll spend the money or Trevor Story, but personally, if there's any way you can get Matt Olson without giving up Peraza, I would plug him at shortstop.
Sure. Dude, me too. I love Peraza.
Yeah.
I love the guy.
Yeah.
His numbers in the minor leagues are pretty freaking good, you know, over in Double-A. That was he hit 290, 12 home runs, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and he's a great defensive shortstop.
Yep.
So see, for me, I don't want Correa. And it doesn't have anything to do with what he did in Houston. It really doesn't. It's can he stay on the field? And if you're talking about spending $350 million, this kid, he has never hit 30 home runs once.
Yep.
Career high, I believe, is 27.
Somewhere around there.
A-Rod back in 2000, 2000, he got a $252 million contract for 10 years. That guy had like 3 or 4 40 home run seasons by that time.
Yeah.
So it's like, and you're telling me that Correa deserves a 10-year deal worth $350? I don't think so. The kid's a good ball player, man. A 7.2 WAR, he's great. It's just I don't want to spend $350 on a shortstop when I have Peraza, Volpe in the minor leagues. I just don't know I want to do that. So
you're absolutely right, man. I would rather trade for Olsen and Brian Reynolds if possible. You have to give up a lot of capital, unfortunately, but I would rather trade for both them guys and bring in a starting pitcher or two. And all that money collectively wouldn't even cost as much as Correa would cost by himself. So, and again, excuse me, he's just one player. He can't win this whole thing by himself.
I know. Who would you move for Reynolds?
Well, I mean, personally, I can't see a scenario where you would get Reynolds without giving up Dominguez. I can't see a scenario. It would hurt. It would be a punch to the gonads. But the way that they're, you know, and again, would I be upset if we didn't get him? Not at all. You know, if there's any way you can get a Seiya Suzuki or just even somebody like an Eddie Rosario who can play outfield very competently as a defender and be a good complement to
Rosario. Perfect.
Totally fine with that. Totally fine with that. But I think Matt Olson's the most urgent need in terms of trade. And again, obviously, if they can package him with another pitcher and come over here, that kills two birds with one stone. So personally, Olson's my number one target once this thing ends. Like over Correa, over Reynolds. Reynolds going to cost a ton, and everybody knows that. You know, and they did not. They started preliminary talks for an extension, but then they kind of halted that. So I don't know if it's possible, but you know, if you can get both of them, I mean, to me, Brian Reynolds would be a perfect leadoff hitter for the Yankees. You put him in center field and lead him off. You have DJ at second. Judge at third. If there's any way you get Olsen, and then you get Stanton, that five, you're gonna give pitchers palpitations. They're gonna have a heart attack on the mound.
I mean, I don't. It's one or the other. It's Olsen and Reynolds. Both can't happen. I don't foresee that happening. But Dominguez, that would like just crush me.
It would hurt.
This kid, man, like his workouts, he just looks so freaking good.
Yeah.
You know, and he's so young. It's like I don't want to move that guy. I don't want to move Dominguez. The Martian, man, the Martian. I don't want to move him.
I know.
I don't want to move him.
He's a smart player too. He's like Volpe. He knows, like, he worked on his defense. You know, Volpe worked on his arm strength. Like, they worked on certain fundamental things this offseason to help them become a better all-around player. So, would I love to see Volpe and Dominguez in the lineup together in a couple years? Oh God, yeah.
The only player, honestly, I would move the Martian for would be Juan Soto.
Yeah.
Or Mike Trout. That won't happen in a million years. But if you're saying, hey, if Washington if Cash calls up Washington and he's like, hey, you know, we want Soto. Who do you want? And they want the Martian. I'll say, okay, and who else? You know, if that's all it takes, that's what I want to do.
Yeah,
that's what I would.
I mean, I love
a heartbeat.
Like
but that's the only guy, though.
Yeah, It's nuts, man. I mean, it's possibilities are endless, and that's kind of what I wanted to talk to you. Like, with the possibilities, what do you see happening once this thing ends? You know, we're going to be bombarded with a tsunami of free agency and trades. We're just going to get slammed, and there's going to be a ton of players and you know, we're going to be doing 100 videos a day probably. So, and that's fine by me. What do you see happening? Like, are there any things like you could see, like, okay, I see them designing this guy. I see this guy being traded. There's certain things that I could just see that it just keeps popping in my head. Like, I can't unsee it. You know what I mean?
I would not be shocked. This isn't the sexiest signing, but I would not. Well, it kind of is. I would not be shocked if they went and signed Freeman. Yankees? That wouldn't shock me. Yeah. I know Hal doesn't want to spend any money. Don't be shocked. You know, it's just years ago we signed a man by the name of Jason Giambi at the age of 32. Freeman's 32, same age. Freeman can actually play first base. Giambi could not.
Nope.
Giambi was a horrible first baseman. So I would love Freeman. I would love if they did a combo of Freeman and then trade for Reynolds.
Oh, God.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a nice.
But Olsen, though, Olsen's a phenomenal fit. Obviously, 39 home runs last year. Great first baseman. I love him.
I love him.
But, you know, if Freeman and Reynolds, that combo, I would not be upset.
No, not at all.
Not be upset whatsoever.
Reynolds, too, like, You trade for him, you obviously, with Olsen, you trade him, you're going to give up some capital. Okay. But, you're getting his 27 and 28-year-old seasons, right?
Yeah,
and
sure.
then, obviously, I would imagine an extension would have been discussed or agreed upon at some point where you tack on 6 years to that or something. But the reason why I prefer him over Freeman is because of the age difference. You're getting more prime years with Olsen than you would with Freeman. Now, that's not to say Freeman might age well. He might stay elite. He's an elite glove and all that stuff. But I just feel that Olsen's the better fit because – and also with these next 2 years are going to be a heck of a lot cheaper than Freeman would cost, which would fit into Hal's fiscal conservative spending plans. And with the Yankees payroll going down about $100 million over the next 4 years, you're giving padding for these next 2 years to maybe stay or near under whatever this new threshold is going to be.
Sure.
Which allow them to do some other things and to ease some of these young kids in.
Phenomenal points.
To me, it's a better fit, Olsen.
Yeah. What would you do this though, bro? Would you if Freddie Freeman is like, hey, Cash, I want to play in pinstripes. I want the interlocking NY on my chest. What if that can happen? And then Oakland is saying, give me Peraza. Peraza has to be a part of that deal. What move are you doing?
Personally, I'm going.
So you're moving on from Peraza for Olsen rather than signing Freeman. Okay,
that's what I would do because you're going to wind up giving a Peraza and Dominguez for Reynolds and more. If I'm gonna make a trade, I'm gonna trade less pieces for first baseman instead of more pieces for the center fielder. That's kind of the way I look at it. And the main reason because you can potentially get that pitcher coming back with Olsen, and we need a number 2 behind Cole. So it's an appealing trade. I think their best trade partners would be Oakland, probably Arizona, because of certain guys that they can get that are not Ketel Marte. They can even get to Ketel Marte, but to me, I look at Carson Kelly and Zach Gallen as a pairing to try to get back here. Pitcher and a catcher, addressing up the middle again. So to me, it's a good fit. I don't know if it'll happen. I think Miami's a good fit too, and they've already showed willingness to trade pitching for offense. Yankees have some offense they can give them at an affordable rate. Now I don't know what's going to happen now with Jeter gone and whatnot, but is they losing that Yankee connection?
Yeah, It's so funny. It's like Jeter joins in 17, moves their best player to the Yankees, and now a few years go by, he's gone.
Yeah.
He's out of there. That's hilarious. It's whatever. It happens. Things happen in sports.
Baseball, yeah.
But that honestly, it was a smart move for him, though. He unloaded that huge contract.
Yeah.
He just it was smart. It was smart.
They brought in some solid players. They developed some young guys. Getting Alcantara to this $11 million per year, that's a smart extension. Bringing in that catcher from Pittsburgh, Stallings, smart moves they made this offseason to set them up a little bit better than they were before. So, and Jeter had a hand in it. He was the chief decision maker there. Now it's going to be Kim Eng, formerly Cashman's assistant with the Yankees. She's going to be have the control. So we'll see if there's any difference in philosophy. That's one of the things he brought up. He said their philosophy changed while he was there, and didn't suggest that we're hearing it from other sources that he was disappointed in their unwillingness to spend a little bit more. I didn't hear from his mouth. That's what we're hearing from other sources. But if it's true, I could see it because the Marlins, they've been staying in that low payroll threshold for quite some time. But I see the logic that Jeter brought in, kind of resurrecting the farm, bringing the prospects and developing them so you have cost-controllable players for several years, which is something the Yankees are doing too. We're trying to do with Volpe and some of these other guys, Dominguez and Peraza, trying to infuse them because at the end of the day, these teams, the best teams have superstars, good role players, and a good prospect base, right? In a combination of the three, a healthy combo. And obviously good health and good fortune, but and the Yankees farm just jumped up to number 7 from 15. So
that's awesome.
Baseball America. So it's a testament to the drafting that they've done over the last couple of years and internationally and in the collegiate draft too. So they've done a good job over the last couple of years. Heck of a lot better than they did the decade prior. So
certainly. Yeah,
and that's why, like you said too, like a healthy infusion, if you can get put Peraza in there and have Olsen and again, Olsen to me helps achieve that goal of becoming a little bit younger and a little bit more athletic. So as well as some of these other younger guys. That's why I picked a 27-year-old with a 32-year-old.
Dude, it's a no-brainer.
But
Honestly, it's a no-brainer.
I'm not going to complain if they sign Freeman. If they get him and he plays well, I'm not going to complain.
Yeah, he's a great fit for them. He's a great fit for the Yankees.
Fantastic fit.
Yeah. So, but if what kind of package would you move to Oakland if Peraza wasn't in the deal?
If he wasn't in the deal, it would probably wind up depending on what you're getting back. If he wasn't in the deal, or if you're getting, let's just say you're getting Olsen and Montez, right? And you're going to have to give up Luis Hill, probably Everson Pereira. Those two guys are 2 top 10s, right off the bat. Mm-hmm. And then you're going to have to give that's going to cost you probably about a 5 prospect package. You might have to give up Gleyber Torres, or a combination of top prospects and major league players. Gleyber Torres and Luke Voigt, they're both cost controlled. They're just going into their RB years now. So them combined cost less than Olsen himself. Yeah. So, and with Oakland kind of rinse, repeat, and just getting cheaper as guys get expensive, they trade them away and then they bring in younger controllable guys. They can have a combination of prospects and major league players at their disposal. And that's what I'd see. It would have to be a 4 or 5 prospect, a 4 or 5 player package if the Yankees are getting a pitcher and Olsen. I can't see them getting for any less. Yeah,
I think Gleyber, though, is going to have a big year.
I hope so.
I really feel that way. I think I think he's going to have a really big year. Towards the end of the year, they put him at second base. All of a sudden, he starts to hit the freaking baseball. Yeah. It's like, are you kidding me? That's all it took? All right. It's fine with me.
I mean, I would love it if you got it. If he had a good year, and if Sanchez had a bounce back year, like in a contract year, and Gallo had a big year because he's going into a free, contract year too. So I would love it if these guys all collectively did it together at the same time and turn this into Murderous Row for 2022. It would be awesome.
Yeah, I honestly think though you need some contact guys in that lineup. Yeah. I would love if they would move Gallo, but he performed so poorly last year with the Yankees that I don't think he really holds much value at all because he's a free agent and all that stuff. He hit 160 for us. That's insane. He either walks, strikes out, or hits a home run.
Yeah, I mean, my take on Gallo is, I want to see how differently he responds to starting a year as opposed to being thrown to the wolves in the middle of a season. So I think it'll be different. He'll get a little bit more comfortable start, not have that pressure levied on him as much. But that said, that could backfire too. So and he's essentially, not a contact hitter. He's a power and strikeout and a walk guy. So and we have a bunch of those guys already. And you're right. For me, Brian Reynolds is a perfect contact guy. Eddie Rosario is a solid contact guy. Like it's just a combination of these guys because the Yankees gave up all their speed and athleticism, or 90% of it, when they let these guys like Greg Allen and Tyler Wade go. And those are underrated contributors.
Yeah, sure.
When they won their 13-game-in-a-row streak this past year, those guys played a big factor.
Yeah,
they were
Florial.
They were Florial. They were replacing all the guys that were on COVID, right, or injured and whatnot. When those guys came back, I'm not a fan of taking a guy out of a lineup if he's on a heater. If he's on a heater, you got to keep him there. If he's hot, he's
100%
lineup. I don't care who's coming back.
Yeah, 100%.
So, and now that to me was a tactical error I think the Yankees made. But whatever. I mean, I'm not the man.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, how do you feel about Boone? I want your opinion.
I think he's obviously less assertive than Joe Girardi is. I think he's more savvy with certain things than Girardi was, but he's less assertive. Personally, a combination of Boone and Girardi would have been a nice fit here, like a combination of the two. But I think it's not only Boone. He's been a part of the Yankees last couple of years. It's kind of in the Bronx Country Club. We need to get back to the Bronx too. That's kind of the easiest way for me to put it. And that's where Girardi's fire, not being afraid to light a fire under a player's ass. We need a little bit more of that. Boom. Arguing with umps is one thing, but like holding players accountable is really, really important. And that's what makes Bill Belichick the best coach in football. He holds players accountable. He's not afraid to make sure he is. And the Yankees can't really do that. Now, I do think he might be maybe hamstrung a little bit by Hal or maybe Cashman, but I'm not exactly sure. It doesn't seem like he has carte blanche from the manager's seat. And that to me, is a little bit more restraint than I'd like. But that said, the players like him. He's obviously comes from a good baseball family. He knows the game. And I just think he was given a mixed-matched, not a properly assembled team. So, and I think they need to get a little bit better of an assembly team. But again, managers need to get the best out of their players as well. So that's his job. And if he doesn't do that, then he needs to be held accountable too. But, you know, they didn't construct a good team for him, or for any manager that would have been there would have gotten a poorly constructed team. So that's kind of the way I look at Boone. I like him, and I hope he wins a championship here. But if he doesn't, I wouldn't renew him after 3 more years. After this one expires, it's kind of the way. That's kind of. What about you?
I'm not his biggest fan. I think Boone's a nice guy. I think he's a good dude. I think he's very approachable. I just don't think he's the right man for the Yankee job. I was a big Girardi guy. I love Joe Girardi.
Me too.
You know, I love that guy. And he, in 17, we had a rookie Aaron Judge. You know, I mean, he had like 52 home runs or something.
Yeah, 52.
Judge hit the heck out of the baseball. Yeah. So, and that year, they were just motivated to play for him.
Oh, yeah.
And if it wasn't for that stupid Astro team, we would have at least been in the World Series that year. And Aaron Boone, we haven't gotten that close, and that's fine. But for me, I don't think Boone is the right man for the job. I really don't. And a lot of moves that he's made in the playoffs are questionable. Like in the COVID year, with the one move that drove me nuts, I believe he brought in Chapman in the 7th inning. He's not Mariano Rivera.
Yeah.
You know, what are you doing? So, like, that move, and then I believe he brought Sanchez in at a questionable time. It's like, what the hell are you doing, bro? I don't care what the analytics say. Don't make stupid moves. And he did.
I'm with you there. And I do think it's a combination of poor decision-making and a lack of good options. So you have to go with the best option, which isn't always a great option, like when it's time. But again, Joe Girardi, again, I give him a lot of credit because he made adjustments as a manager, dealing with the media and other things. He came into his own with the Yankees. Boone needs to make adjustments just like Girardi did, in order to, I think, to really get the, you know, I think we need somebody who's like a vocal leader, somebody who, you know, can handle this. Like, if to me, it's like, you know, you see like somebody walk around and he has a crew of bodyguards, like a celebrity. I want that type of feeling of security with a manager. Like, manager's like, I got this. Don't worry, I got this. I don't feel that from him.
Sure.
Girardi, we had that. Don't worry, I got this. Like,
back. I believe back in 13, Girardi had a really crappy team. He had, I believe Teixeira, he was hurt a bunch. McCann was hurt. They were all hurt. They were all hurt that year. All of them. And then you had freaking Lyle Overbay as your first baseman.
Oh my God.
You finished the year with 83 wins, 84 wins. They should have had 65 wins that year.
Yeah.
He took a pile of crap, turned them into a contender, to a team that at least had their head above water.
Yep.
That speaks volumes about the kind of manager he was. It is.
Yep. You get an average team to overperform. That's a testament of good managing right there. That's good.
So
competent, smart, balls.
I love Girardi, bro. I love him. I love that guy.
I miss him. I'll tell you this.
Yeah.
If he was still here, I'd be happy.
Me too.
I mean, Philly's got a good one.
Yeah.
So, and
they do.
And, you know, and it is what it is. But, you know, it's too bad he's not back. So, but all right, I have one for you.
Sure.
3 moves that you think the Yankees should make versus 3 moves you think they'll actually make once the lockout's over.
I'm sorry, you cut out there. What happened?
3 moves that you think the Yankees should make after lockout versus 3 moves you'll think they'll actually make. Contract.
Three moves I think they'll actually make,
and 3 moves you think they should make. I want to see the difference between the two lists.
What they should make? Holy crap! See, I'm a Freeman guy, but all right. What they should? Okay, Matt Olson. Okay, they should bring in a pitcher, right? And then have Olson, have Montas, Bassett, whoever.
Mm-hmm.
right? So you have Olsen at first base. You have the addition in the rotation because we need it.
Oh yeah.
And man, for center field, I mean, there's no way that you get a guy like with I'm gonna stutter. I stutter, by the way,
It's all
with
good.
and Reynolds. Yeah, him. So like I don't think there's a possible way of that happening. I wish.
Yeah.
I wish. I just don't think so. So we need that center fielder, but who would that be? I don't know. Rosario, I love his bat. I think a left-handed bat at Yankee Stadium, I feel like he would work.
Yep.
I really do. And I don't know. Dude, I don't know. With this Yankee management, I just you don't know. You know? It's just it's insane. It's like they could do one thing and then sign 5 guys to minor league deals and that's our moves.
Now,
You know?
yeah, exactly. The one other thing, and I said this like a lot, is when you think Cashman's going to do a lot, he does nothing. And when you think he's going to do nothing, he does a lot. The guy's like a ninja. He's like a spy. He must have worked in the KGB or something.
Really
You don't know anything of what's going on in the planet of Cashman. Nothing. And then all of a sudden, day after lockout, Cashman's made 3 blocks. What the what? What just happened? And he does this. He does this a lot. And it's like,
yeah.
and you're sitting there like, I'm dumbfounded at what he did. And then you're like, what the hell's going on? And I know why they didn't, it's clear why they didn't make moves now before the lockout. They wanted to see what the new parameters of the CBT are going to be and the CBA and blah, blah, blah. And these guys still haven't figured that out. So I understand that. The Dodgers haven't done anything. The Red Sox haven't done anything. None of the big teams have done anything except for the Mets. So, but contrast that now. What do you think the 3 moves are going to do? That's your
what the
yeah.
I don't have a lot of faith.
That's the thing, and this is what I mean. Like,
I gotta be honest. I don't have a lot of faith. I think if the DH is implemented in the National League, I feel like we're gonna get a lot of value. And I think that's when Cashman, the ninja Cashman, comes out of nowhere and moves a Voit for something of value that we need.
Yeah.
And moves, let's say, a Sanchez, if you will, for what we need. Those guys would thrive in the National League. Those guys are great hitters, and they are great hitters. And if they just could be a DH somewhere, they would absolutely thrive. So I think the Yankees have a lot of value for those 2 guys alone.
Me too.
They can make a lot happen.
But
with this team, though, I would like them to move Aaron Hicks. I don't think it's going to happen, but I would like that to happen.
So would I. Very much so.
I don't know if they would cut him, but I would like to move him.
I think packaging him,
but as far as the move that I think that they're going to make, I don't know. Yeah.
I think that's the reason why I do these 3 versus 3, because I want to prepare and I want to be excited, but then prepared to be disappointed at the same time. So I want to prepare to be pleasantly surprised and disappointed at the same time. So what I think they should do, trade for Olsen.
Yeah, tell me. Okay.
Olsen, then make a trade with Cincinnati for Luis Castillo. Or Castillo and Amir Garrett. Or just Castillo alone I'd be fine with.
Me too.
Those are 2 right there. And then figure out a way to get to move Hicks and combine with getting Seiya Suzuki here. To play the outfield, and then you can rotate guys. You can rotate guys throughout the outfield, and through DH. You have a rotating because those guys are all big dudes. They need regular rest. Combining with a DH day and off day, there's a way they can figure it out. Those are the 3 things I think they should do. Get a frontline starter behind Cole. You get Olsen. If you get Olsen with a pitcher, even better. And versus what I think they will do, I think they're going to somehow wind up with Trevor Story. I predicted them to the Yankees a while back, and I've actually predicted Correa to the Phillies. But we'll see. Because Dave Dombrowski's there. He's ballsy. He's crazy, and the Phillies need a long-term shortstop. With Bryce Harper, and that's hell for pitchers. And I would rather the Phillies paid $350 million than we paid $350 million. So I have a feeling that we're going to wind up with Story, and I have a feeling they're going to wind up bringing in somebody like Matthew Boyd. For the pitching.
Holy crap!
We wanted to add we wanted to add to our rotation, and I have and I am predicting the Olsen trade that they will get Olsen done.
Still,
that's the only one that I'm having on the same list of what I think they should do versus what I think they'll actually do. Olsen to me is a no-brainer. They'd be nuts not to do it. Nuts.
So you think Olsen's a no-brainer? Like, you think
Yeah.
the Yankees are definitely going to make that move?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I heard, and it's not confirmed, and I don't know what the details were, but they were close to a big trade right before lockout happened. And then I don't know the details of it and who it was with, but it was a multiplayer trade. And there's only a handful of teams I see them making a multiplayer trade with. Oakland be one of them, maybe Arizona, maybe there's only a handful of teams I could see it happening. So that's why my prediction is still Olsen. Olsen's my guy. Like, he's my focus, and I think he'll eventually get here. For what? I have no idea, but I think he'll eventually and who knows? I mean, I'd be pretty disappointed if they did nothing in the outfield and brought back Brett Gardner. I like Brett Gardner. I think they should have a Brett Gardner Day, and all this stuff, and thank him for his service and whatnot. But we got to upgrade in the outfield, man. We got an upgrade in the outfield.
Yeah, he's not there anymore.
No,
he doesn't have it.
No, and Hicks. I mean, he tried to turn it to Barry Bonds. It didn't work. So now he's this Hulk, and he gets hurt all the time. Like, it's just that's not working either. So we're going to be net down 2 outfielders, and they've already got rid of some of these other guys, speedy guys like Greg Allen and LeCastro and some of these other guys. That's why I think Suzuki would be a good fit. Gallo can play center field because he's a good defender and he's fast, but he's very likely not going to be here after 2022. They're going to need somebody, and somebody who might be here for a couple of years while they still continuing to develop Dominguez, because I don't see Dominguez up here until maybe 2024, something like that. Would I like him sooner? Yeah, but I think he's got a little bit more development to go, and I don't think they want to ruin his development by throwing him to the wolves just yet, which I hope they do. I hope they nurture Volpe the same way they've been nurturing him. So, but I like him to be up here. Yeah, I mean, I can't wait to see these guys in spring training, just getting the shot. But that's what I think they will do. And as well, some other moves. I see them making like 5 or 6 moves, some little ones and then a couple of big ones, and we'll see. But I really want to be pleasantly surprised. Like, I want them to pull some crazy trade, and where nobody's thinking, how in the world? I don't understand. Like, I want to be confused. I want to see.
Yeah, sure.
I don't understand how he did this.
Yeah, it's going to be like a 3-way deal. Yankees get Olsen. Gallo goes to the wherever, and then we only move like Heel, Medina, and another prospect. It's like, what the freak did you do? How did you do that? We keep Peraza, Dominguez, everybody. It's like, what the hell?
That's I want to do another video and be like, dude, we need to talk about this because how in the world did he pull off this thing? And that's I want that to be the title of the video. How in the hell did Cashman do this? That's going to be the title of the video. Like, I want that to happen because he does it so often. Like, I wasn't expecting some of the trades that he made. I mean, the Didi trade turned out to be a gem, and I was really happy. And Max Scherzer was in that trade. It was a 3-team trade. So I don't know if you remember, but Scherzer was part of that trade.
The Didi move? Yeah,
it was the Tigers, Diamondbacks, and Yankees. And Scherzer went from Tigers to Arizona.
No, that was the Granderson move.
Oh, was that?
I thought. I think that was the Granderson move. Scherzer went to Detroit, and Kennedy went to Arizona.
You might be right.
Yeah, and then because the Yankee, I forget the Yankee move, but I'm pretty sure that was the Granderson move with Scherzer and all that stuff.
Arizona, and that was a 3-team trade as well. I could have sworn, but maybe I think you're
right. I could be wrong. I don't know.
But it's those types of trades where you don't expect.
Yeah,
that you really like. So that's kind of my take on what I think they should do versus what I think they will do. It's really hard to get a read on, like you said too. It's hard to get a read on Cashman. It really is. He keeps everything to his sleeve, and he's just so cagey and just so quiet about everything.
Yeah.
Which I like, and I hate at the same time.
Yeah, I know. I mean, but like last year though, I mean, he got Gallo and Rizzo. It's like, whoa, just out of nowhere. I'm like, holy crap.
Did not expect Andrew Heaney, and I'm not disappointed that he's gone.
Yeah.
The Dodgers signed him for a 1-year, $10 million deal. So see,
I mean, you have him. He received that money. Syndergaard, $20 million. He pitched 2 innings,
Yeah.
$10 million an inning. It's like, really? Come on.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's out. I mean, the younger players need to get paid more. I get that. But then you have guys like Syndergaard and Heaney. It's like, come on. You get the system's working out for you guys.
Yes, it is.
It's working for them. They're $20 million for a guy who pitched 2 innings.
Yeah, I know.
It's outrageous.
Like, oh my God, I know.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
It brings me to the last thing I wanted to talk to you about, which there are certain guys that I think are going to wind up signing for less, just because they just want to get signed and what. And then there are certain guys that I think they're not going to get signed for less. Like my guys who are not going to get signed for less, Freeman, Correa, they're going to get paid one way or another.
Money. Yeah.
Right? And some other guys. The guys that I think could be fits, that Eddie Rosario's on that list. Jorge Soler's on that list. These guys I think could be good values for teams. Eddie Rosario being to the Yankees, who I think would be eager enough to sign, that will probably take less and not wait out the free agency or whatever it is. Like some of the other guy. Correa's a Boris guy. Freeman, I don't remember who's his agent, but it's not Boris. I think it might be Casey Close or somebody. But he's going to get paid. This is his chance to get paid. He's going to get paid. Like, do you see that happening too? Certain guys that you think are going to take less just to get signed?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, in Rizzo, I feel like he'll be a guy who's getting less, who will get less, unfortunately for him. And that would suck. I'd feel bad for the guy. He's a good ball player. He's not great, but he's good. Great clubhouse guy, which is very important.
Yes.
And but I feel like he's a guy who will get not so much as he should have. But yeah, like Correa, Freeman, those guys are getting paid no matter what. Yep. They're getting paid.
Yep.
But yeah, man, Rosario, he's one. Soler, man, those guys were a part of a World Series team. That sucks.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Well, I mean, that team was full of great role players, man, who came up in the clutch. I mean, it's just a great assembly of guys and stuff like that, which is, to me, they've rolled
the dice and it worked.
Yeah.
The Yankees did and it didn't.
Yep.
So,
yep. Yeah,
it is what it is.
Yeah, and it's one of the reasons why I think certain guys are against this. Not only because of look, I just want to get signed. We're late. I just want to play. I just let's just sign. I've for some reason, and this might be the pessimist in me with regards to this lockout, is I think there's going to be some teams that are going to use. Well, I'm paying more now to pay the young kids. I can't afford to sign a free agent for this big money. I have a feeling there's going to be some owners that are going to use that excuse to not sign somebody to a deal. So it's going to limit certain markets for certain players. And I hope that's not the case. I really do. These guys need to invest in their product. And otherwise.
You just made my stomach hurt.
I know. And I hate saying it. And I like making people feel better. But this is the one that's like, I don't know why. And again.
Nah, man, I get it.
I hope guys get paid. I hope guys get paid. And I hope the Yankees get everybody they need and everybody we want them to get. Like,
I hope so. I just hope Hal is willing to spend some money where he needs to spend money, and the Padres having a higher payroll than the Yankees is appalling. And do they really though? Because I know Scherzer, he mentioned it.
They did.
My God, that's appalling. I mean, come on. You're the freaking Yankees. You're the most profitable team in baseball. The hell are you doing? Oh, I want to make a bottom line. You're a billionaire.
No.
Don't come to me that you want to make money. You already make money.
Yep.
You inherited the Yankees. You didn't buy them. Your daddy owned them.
Yep. And dude,
man,
Daddy bought him $10 million. He turned it into $5 billion. Yeah, talk about a return on investment, dude. And then you have the network. The franchise is worth like $11 billion. Yeah. It's the Yankees, Manchester. Like there's like 2 or 3 teams that, in all of sports that are worth that much money.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, no. They could, I mean, honestly, they could get Olsen. They could get Reynolds. They could sign. They could do everything they want and still be madly profitable. Yeah. Wildly profitable. I mean, they made their profit margin last year was $470 million, something like that, in the black. $470 million profit.
That's insane.
Like, it's my heavens, man.
It's almost $500 million.
Yeah. In profit. That's after paying people. That's after expenses and whatever else. It's like, phew, man. So, I get it. And then again, this is language that it's really hard for me to speak because I've never made $30 million in a season. Never seen a check for $30 million. So,
no. Me either, bro. Me either.
Yeah, and it's just, would I love to make 700,000? Yeah. Love it. Yeah.
Heck yeah, bro. Yeah.
It's so that's where the human side of me comes out, like the regular dude side. It's like I'm not speaking your language, but
we can't relate to them.
Can't at all.
But when you really break it down, though, they do make great points. You know, the Yankees made a profit of almost $500 million. So it's like, all right, you can pay me a little more money.
Yeah.
You can pay me a little more money than this $550,000 in my second year in the major leagues. You can pay me a little more.
Yeah. And I'm all for that.
I get it.
I'm all for it. I'm all for paying the younger guys and giving them a clearer path, or a little bit more sustainable path to free agency. Because not everybody makes it there. So
I know it's tough.
The guys that do get paid,
yeah.
And good thing about it, I had some friends who played in the major leagues, and
cool.
If you get called up, you get major league quality health care for you and your family for the entire season. If you get sent back down, you still keep the health care. So that's nice. You get a really, really good health insurance benefits.
Yeah.
So they do have some pretty nice perks. They have a pretty generous daily stipend, meal stipend, food stipend. They get all these different perks that people like me don't get. I don't have an envelope full of 20s waiting at me for my YouTube channel every day. Like, it's not there yet. So
yeah.
Here's your stipend. No, not happening.
Yeah.
But it's a pipe dream. Who doesn't want to be a major league ball player? So who doesn't want to enjoy that stuff?
That was my dream, bro. Ever since I was a toddler, man, hitting that walk-off home run at Yankee Stadium. Didn't happen. But it's okay.
It's all good. I went to Bucky Dent baseball school. It was a scouting combine after college. And in Jupiter, Florida, Bucky Dent was there. And while I was there, Mark Pryor was there. I get to face him. So he was right before he got drafted. And Mark Grulizanik was there. Mike Piazza was there. They were working on drills, fungo, this, that. And Mark Pryor was probably the best pitcher I've ever faced in my life. And he's a beast, man. And the first pitch I saw was like 99 miles an hour.
Yeah.
I said, now I'm intimidated. So it's
a
whole different thing for me.
But talking about Mark Pryor really quick, the Yankees drafted him initially. Imagine if he was on he had arm issues, but that's a pretty cool fact.
Yeah, pretty cool. And they drafted Cole too, and he didn't sign with them. He went
back
I know.
to
UCLA, and rest is history. He's with him now. But a lot of guys that they drafted, it's
pretty wild.
Yeah. Insignificant fact of the day before we go: there's only one player to get drafted in the NFL, the NBA, and in the Major League Baseball in the same year. You know who it is?
I think I do. It's Winfield. Is it Winfield?
Let's work. Dave Winfield.
Bam!
Boom.
Dave Winfield, baby.
Right. All in the same year. Got drafted by all 3 years, man.
Yeah, it's incredible. Phenomenal athlete.
Yeah. We went to San Diego, my wife and I, and we met him at the Omni Hotel in the lobby. He was standing there checking into the hotel.
Oh, crap.
This is Dave Winfield, honey. She had no idea who he was. I was all like a little kid, and I went up to him and said, he's a really nice guy. Really nice guy.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But I remember, I'll never forget that fact. Yeah, and there's only one player to hit a home run or the ball never came down either. Never came down.
Yeah.
It was never to be found. It's Dave Kingman. I don't know if you remember him.
Yes, yeah, I know him. Yeah.
That was never found. And it's even a more insignificant fact.
Yeah.
Very insignificant, but
yeah.
But yeah, man, dude, I want to thank you for coming on. This is a lot of fun, man. And,
oh, dude, I had a blast. I appreciate it, bro. I'd love to do it again, dude. I do it all the time. Yeah.
Let's
whenever.
Once we're in the middle of free agency mania, let's pick this up again and do another one because I have a feeling we're gonna get slammed with stuff. So, and I think it'll be fun to do. Who's going next? Who's this? Whatever. And
for sure.
But talk about whoever's going, and whoever's going where. Because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put out. I have a team list, and I'm just gonna lay out who they're bringing in, who they're bringing in, who they're bringing in at the end before the season.
Nice.
A summary of what each team has done.
Cool.
Yankees have a long list already, but they're all minor league contracts. So
Yeah.
and international.
Yeah.
I want to do that with you again. So
Cool. Yeah, bro. Of course.
I appreciate it. And guys, go take a look at his channel, The Shift, man. It is an awesome Yankee channel. There's great baseball content. He does other content as well, but it's primarily a Yankee channel. And why would you not? The Yankees are the greatest team ever. Okay?
Yeah.
Why would you not be Yankee channel? But thank you for coming on, Joe. I appreciate you, man. And guys, please support his channel by subscribing. And you're definitely going to see both of us doing some collaboration together again. So, Joey, thanks for coming on, bro.
Of course, brother. Thank you.
I'll link your channel in my video as well. So I'll talk.
I appreciate that, man. Yep, of course.
Thank you, man.
All right, bro. Bye. Yep.